Oops. Hi, everybody. Welcome. I'm really happy to see all of you, and I'm even happier to welcome Britt back to my channel, back to the show. It's wonderful to have you back, Britt. Um, so we're our Hi Moira, hi Paul. I'm just going to say hi to a bunch of people that I see. Leah's here. Oh look, there's Shenanigans and Nightbot. Hi Nightbot. Paul Freed is here. Paul, I have your question. Akila's here. CJ. And hang on a second. Who was first this week? Millie De La Prida. You get a gold star for being the first one into chat this week. Diane is here, my god mod. She is outstandingly excellent. Hang on just a second here while I get back to where I've got your question marked, Paul. It's really interesting. And Leah, it's it's not hashtag. It's exclamation mark join. And okay, there you go. Paul, I am going to answer your question. Don't worry about doing the whole thing with the join and everything, because I mean, okay, I'm going to make an exception because I think it's a really interesting question. I'm going to set the limit for 8. And we will have a little chat first. Yes. Hi, Rossi. Nice to see you. And yeah, there you go. Treats. Okay. So I'm gonna let you guys ask questions, and I want to talk to Britt and catch up with Britt for a bit, and have a little chat with her and see what's been going on in your head. Because you just finished Val's course that in February, right? The Akashic Records course, Records Readers course. And
Millie was in that class with me as well. Shout out to Millie. I haven't really been able to do much practice with it yet, but it was a wonderful experience. Anyone who hasn't taken the class, I highly recommend. From what I heard from Millie talking during the class, she had a great experience too. So we can both vouch, as well as Linda. So
oh, that's awesome. Yeah, it is an amazing. Okay, so Leah wants to know if you're a First Nations person.
First Nations?
Yeah, Aboriginal, Indigenous.
I have absolutely no idea. I've been told there's Native American blood in me, but I don't know how much. I don't even know if it's true. The only ones I can actually be sure of are Polish, French, and Puerto Rican. So, yeah.
Okay. Hi, Pierrette. Welcome. Moira, you need to put your question right after join. But if you do exclamation mark join and then ask your question, it'll modify your first one. You're not going to lose your place in the queue. Okay, and you'll know if your question was accepted because you'll get a message from Nightbot. Speak. Saying that you successfully joined the queue and your position in it. Yeah. Hi, Annie Bear. Welcome. Yes. Do you want to talk a little bit more about your? Okay, so when I first contacted the Akashic Records Masters, it was a life-changing moment for me, and I say that from my heart. It was better than holding my after my first child was born, or even the second or the third, because the magic never changed. It was always a magical moment holding that child in my arms after they were born. This was better. Shh, don't tell my kids.
yeah, the initial connection was, it was very heady. Like it was very much kind of like being high without like doing any drugs to get there.
Yeah, it is exactly like that. There's just such euphoria. There's so much joy and love coming in. It is amazing. Oh, and before I forget, because I'm really scattered right now, because I'm, in the space. Before I forget, all of you who want, I'm just telling you, those of you who have taken Val's course, I run a weekly practice session. And if you want to join us, it's Sunday nights. It's at 5 o'clock Pacific, 8 o'clock Eastern. It's on Zoom. If you would like to, if you'd like to join us, please just shoot me an email. The email is in the show notes, the description, and you can, pardon me, I'll send you the link to the Zoom meeting and you can join us. I don't take attendance. You don't have to come every week, but it's a really good way of improving improving your connection, improving your skills as a reader. You get immediate feedback, which is what we all need as readers, and some really nice, really good people to work with, some very well experienced readers. So please email me if you want to join the practice session now or at any time in the future. Like, it's not like there's an intake or something, right? Just let me know and show up when you can. Sorry. Yes, Linda does have some cash merch, and I did a show earlier today with Tarot Stash on creativity. It was really good, and I probably should have changed, but it didn't occur to me. And I love my cozy Tarot Stash hoodie. It is the nicest hoodie I have. It is like the best hoodie I've ever had. It's like wearing a hug. It's cozy. It's warm. It's way too big for me, and I love that about it. I wanted it that way, and yeah.
Are you going to get one for the free advertising?
Well, I don't mind promoting Tarot Stash. He's a genius reader. He's absolutely a fabulous reader, and a really, really close friend of mine. He's also an Akashic Records reader. He does it differently. His skill with the records, his connection to the records, came to him from the masters themselves. Like, they connected to him, which is big magic as far as I'm concerned. And yeah. I got no problem promoting Tarot Stash as much as I can.
Cool. And thank you, Millie. Yeah.
Millie, thank you very much.
Yeah, it was I was taken aback by the personality. Because that in that initial connection, it was I told you when Linda and I were speaking before we got on the show, I told her how I had a pretty bad fall a few weeks ago, and I'm pretty sure I tore my ACL. I fell off my retaining wall and my leg bent badly. So, pretty sure that happened. So that the next day was the class, and during in that initial connection, what I heard was a deep voice say boom in my head, and then they made my knee tingle, the one that bent wrong. So I just thought it was absolutely hilarious that they have the kind of morbid sense of humor that I have, because yep, that happened again. So I don't take it as anything mean. I know other people might be little bit more sensitive to kind of joke like that, but I thought it was absolutely hilarious and right up my book because I thought it was hilarious too when it happened. I got over it, but yeah, she's being very. Do you need to grab her?
I might have to. Yeah. Pierrette, it's exclamation mark join, not hashtag join, and also it's a 100 character limit, so you can put it into 2 comments, and I'll star them both so that I have all the information. So just keep the question in like 100 character limit, and then put the additional information below it, and I'll see it. So yeah. I want to say something before I go and nab Her Royal Majesty. Because she didn't want to be here. Okay. Like, it's not like it's not like I locked her in her cage and saying, you can't come. She didn't want to. So yeah. Okay, fine. You know that the Akashic Records Masters help in healing, right? Like Terry Suzuki uses them all the time in her healing work. And, they have helped me in healing as well. I use what I do is because I do Reiki, I start with Reiki and then I invite the masters to join me. And that would be that's one way to approach it. Okay. Everybody has their own way of approaching it, and but they are available for help. They are available to assist in healing. They're available to assist with a lot of stuff. Pretty much anything you want, not just reading, it's understanding, like, explain to me what happened here. Explain to me this thing, show me. And Diane says healing is the reason she took the class. Yeah. Oops, sorry.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's what led me there too, is because it all starts inside, and then once you've aligned yourself within, then you can really live without,
Yeah, and Rossi says it'll work. Yeah, that's another really, really good way of sorry, really, really good approach to take way to approach the Akashic Records Masters is to ask them for help with shadow work. I'm so excited to hear about your experience. So I mean, that is so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, it was mind-boggling, that's for sure. And it took me, a good while to actually really come down from that feeling and feel like I'm on the ground again. I for the rest of the day I was just in cloud nine. I noticed that even that small time of connection there had already kind of helped with my knee, with healing it, because it had blown up like a balloon, the swelling. It was so bad. But like overnight, it started to feel better, less pain on impact, less pressure, easier to walk on. It was very, very, very good in many ways. So you heal the energy body, you heal the rest of everything. It all just follows suit like a nice domino effect.
Yeah. I have to say that I haven't had any physical problems at all since I started reading. I mean, I'm and I'm happier than I've ever been.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't had any problems with being depressed, which has plagued me my whole life, as it does most people with attention deficit disorder. You don't have to have it, of course, to be depressed. I'm not saying that. Yeah, the worst that's happened to me is this cold sore that just won't heal because I keep eating, damn it, and it keeps opening up.
That will happen.
So yeah, that's like the worst that's happened to me in the last 2 years. I don't even really get, but I'm really cautious when I go out too. I'm wearing masks more now. Now that the pandemic made it okay. Well, in Canada anyway, to wear a mask. I wear masks when I go shopping and stuff like that. So I'm more cautious. But honestly, yeah, it's been much better. My health has been much better. So you had it's not a cold sore anymore, Moira. Like the cold sore part of it is healed. It's just that my lip cracked, or the skin on my lip cracked because I was eating a piece of toast, okay? And it sliced it open. And that's what has to heal now. So yay. So we're at number 6 now with one question starred. And we have room for 2 more questions, I think. So yeah, no, I'm not putting castor oil anywhere. I don't care what people say. Castor oil has some real bad associations for me as a little kid. So yeah, not touching that shit. Sorry. No. You're a really new reader. I don't mean that in a bad way. I just mean you're really new at it. Are there some other ways that you've noticed your connection hitting or making a difference in your life, in the way you think, in the way you feel?
Both, yes. Mostly in the way I feel, because I've noticed that I seem to have an easier time being more objective than I was before. It's helped kind of with I don't know if anyone has ever had like an anxiety attack or a panic attack, but when you are in the middle of one of those, or if you have PTSD, if you have something that triggers a memory, a flashback, it's very hard to separate yourself from the flashback or the feelings
Yes.
in your body. And I have noticed that since I took the class, that those feelings, while they still can happen, they haven't been quite as strong. And I mean, I'm doing the Western method as well. There's some things that I'm on, and I have a psychiatrist who takes very good care of takes very good care of me that way. But we try to do more like supplements over straight up medicines. That way, we're doing more of a natural rebalancing, you know, chemical dependency. And even without increasing those medications, I've noticed that it's more it's much easier to see situations objectively and see more perspectives. That's something I've always prided myself on, is being able to put myself into someone else's shoes and be able to, try to understand how they experience the world, the way they think, the way they might feel. And it just seems like I'm able to do that even better now and exist outside of myself versus
Yeah.
within myself.
Yeah. Yeah. So there's a certain, I don't want to say detachment because it's not detachment, but you're looking at it from a broader kind of perspective. I love that.
It's more like when you're playing a video game and they start you out in first person view, like you're literally, and then you just have the hands in front of you. and then you find
Yeah.
the button that zooms it out into third person. You're like, oh, holy shit.
I didn't see
So
that
much.
behind me. I didn't see that door on the other side. What the?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I see what you mean. Okay, I'm going to go and get Her Majesty because she's not going to shut up now. Hang on a second. I don't have any music, so you can just go la da 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 da. All right. Oh,
Yeah.
come on, you old bag.
I know exactly how she feels because
Come on.
say hello to Mokuba and Joey. And those are 2 of my 5 animals that are in my house. I have 1 other dog and 2 other cats. If you guys have ever had an orange cat or have ever known someone who had an orange cat, they really do only share 1 brain cell, and you never know when your cat's going to be the one that has the brain cell. I swear mine maybe has it 10% of the time, and that 10% of the time, he is such a little Slytherin. He is so...
I love it. I love it.
Oh.
I love it. Yes. So this is Wanda. For those of you who don't know her, this is Wanda. Subscribe to me. I'm Wanda's Human. And it's her show, actually. It's not mine. We all obey Wanda's commands.
Oh, Leah, no, I honestly, they're utter shenanigans, but if you want a cat that will let you just manhandle them, an orange cat is the way to go. I can literally just grab my guy and just hold him upside down, and he'll just stare at me, looking at me upside down like, okay. He'll literally let me manhandle him. He's such a love bug, and that's why he's right over there, because he likes to stay tucked up my ass. So,
And Leah, yes, rescues are the best. They really are. Oh God, she's really annoying today. What is wrong with you? Oh my. Okay. Yeah, here's Wanda having fun. Just don't poop on the front, okay? Go poop down the back. I can wash the sweatshirt. I don't want people looking at bird poop on my front. Let's see. I think we're about ready. She's having a good time. I think we're about ready to open the records, and let me see if I can read.
Just so everyone knows, because I'm still so new at Akashic Records readings, I'm not going to be doing those. That's going to be just Wanda. Just Wanda. Just tonight.
You're right. Listen, she's connected. Don't.
Hey, I mean, if you're connected, she's connected.
Yeah, exactly.
Literally, you're familiar.
Yeah. So yeah, I didn't realize that for the longest time, but yeah, absolutely, we're a team.
Speaking of familiars, my first cat, Oreo, he passed about a year and a half ago now. And this room that we're in, well, that I'm in right now, was the room that he was in most toward the end of his life, because it was getting harder for him to go up and down the stairs and everything. So I did a mass rearranging and cleaning of this room earlier. And this painting behind me, I went to put it down right here while I was standing in front of the window. And I had the thought to pick it up and make sure that there was no animals underneath it before I put it down. And I thought I saw a black and white cat. But then I put it down quickly anyway because it didn't register fast enough. And when I picked it up, there was no cat there, and the only black and white cat we have was in the other room. So I'm pretty sure that my Oreo is with us here today. So I'm very happy for that because he was my familiar. One of the closest animals to me that I've had so far. Like I've got a couple of good boys now that are very attuned to me, and the black and white cat that I have now is also becoming very attuned to me. But we had a special connection, Oreo and I. So I'm really happy to have been able to see him earlier, and I
Yeah,
just wanted to share
that's
that with you guys because I feel like when I took that class, it helped strengthen my connection to be able to witness that earlier today. So
yeah.
I'm grateful, you know, I'm grateful.
Okay, so my camera's being a little wonky. I'm sorry about that. I don't have a lot of control over it. I wanted to say Rossi has an excellent suggestion that if you do get, because we're in this together, and we're going to be creating the reading space together shortly. I've got the prayer and everything here to read. But if you do get a hit, like speak up, okay? Because we're doing this together. This is a collaborative kind of, yeah.
Yeah, I did cut myself off to say that I have many decks around me that I am going to be using for you guys, and like I went cleared all of them earlier, so they're all fresh, ready for your fresh readings, clear ones for you guys. So I'm just gonna pick whichever one seems to hit me for each person's reading. So as Wanda's having fun.
Well, I'm just showing everybody her butt, and I don't want to get, I don't want to get a note from YouTube saying that I'm showing parrot porn.
Have you ever seen Bob's Burgers?
Oh, heck yeah. Yeah.
In season 1, the art crawl episode, and then Linda has the dream of all the animals just parading their butts. Butts are beautiful butts. Butts are beautiful
Cats
butts.
are the best at that. Cats are the best at that. I don't know how many times in Zoom meetings and stuff over the years that I've seen somebody's cat jump up on the desk and turn their back to the camera, and you have a butt shot right there. It's hilarious. Okay, let's get serious. All right. So let's see who's I'm going to read out who's in the just to confirm. I'm just going to read out who's in the queue, and in what order it'll show up. So we'll have that in about 5 seconds. It is indeed a catastrophe. So we have Emily Lawrence Bradley first, Leah, Andrea, Moira D, Pierrette, Tamer Kampolat, Rossi, and Venus. Okay, so good. Emily's here. And we go next. This is freaking, oh yeah, and Paul Freed. Actually, you know what? Maybe we'll read Paul Freed's first because it's a very interesting one. There was an additional comment that I forgot to star. Yeah, I've got Paul Freed right here. He says that he got chills right through himself, and he wanted to know what the meaning of this dream is. Don't usually do dream meanings, but I want to yeah, I don't want to piss off Nightbot either, because really it's impossible to work with. Come on, let's see a little better connection here. What's going on? Oh dear, oh dear. Okay. Anyway, hang on just a second here. I may be able to fix this very simply. Oh, look at that. Uh-oh, did I disappear? There, is that better? There, that's much better. Okay. Let's open the records, and we'll start with the 3 deep breaths like we always start. So in through your nose, out through your mouth, and fill yourself up right down to the bottom of your toes, the bottom of your feet, the tips of your toes. Fill yourself right up. So we are surrounded by the pure white light of divine source. We ask Archangel Michael to protect and guide us, and we call forth all of our angels, guides, beings of light, and Akashic Records masters to assist us now to receive information of the highest truth, highest frequency of light and love, allowing us to receive exactly what we need for our greatest good and the greatest good of humanity. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We open ourselves to the light, and with this light, we open ourselves to our truth. And with this light, we open ourselves to our soul's purpose. And with this light, we open ourselves to be guided towards our highest good and the highest good of all in divine love. And so this group, consisting of the people here now, those who will join us later, and those who will watch the playback, are given the truth to best serve them on their healing journey into the love and acceptance that is most beneficial for them in this moment. And I'll read that silently. And with this light and guidance, we unlock the energy fields of this group to receive the records of their souls.
You all right, Luca?
Yeehaw. Paul. Okay, so you ready? No? Do you want to wait a minute? Or you want me to start?
You start.
Okay. So I think we were talking about Rochester Castle in London before, Paul. I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. Hi, Leah Salva. I think that it seems to me, I told you already that you had a lifetime there. That feels familiar to me. And I think what's happening to you, that what this dream means is that it's a memory of a past life that's beginning to surface. So, because this doesn't feel like a dream, so it doesn't feel like symbols to me. This doesn't feel like it was something that came out of your subconscious, or was just sort of like clearing out the mental stuff that dreams usually are about. You know what I'm like, all that Jungian stuff. I think this was this feels to me like it absolutely was a past life memory coming to you, or a fragment of a memory. Maybe just images. This happens to people, and how it's the same sort of rule for past life memories coming up in dreams as it is for communications with your guides. When it's really vivid and you can remember it in great detail, and you can describe, the candlestick on the dresser, you can describe everything in there, and it has a deep feeling, like there's big feelings around there. That's something that's not a dream. It might be communication with your spirit guides. It might be communication with loved ones who passed on, like your grandmother, or you know what I'm talking about. Or it might be the resurgence of a past life memory. That's what those big feeling dreams are about. In your case, to me, this what you're describing here is, and because I have this very clear memory of telling you before that you had life at Rochester Castle. If this memory is of mine, it's false. Well, guess what? You did have a past life at Rochester Castle, and I see you in there very clearly, as a servant, a high up servant, but a servant. Mm, um, Not exactly a paid servant, someone who's like not servant class, but not really aristocracy, sort of like in between, and maybe a poor relative. I'm not sure. I'd have to like really dig in, but so you're not like a paid servant who's there to as that. You're like a poor relative that they're looking after, and so you provide services to them. I mean, you're not cleaning shoes or anything, but you're providing like messenger, and you're writing letters for people and stuff like that. I see that really, really clearly. And so for me, this absolutely, yeah, this is absolutely a past life memory. I hope that helps, Paul. And I really appreciate your question, because, like, that's very cool. To me, that's really, really cool. So
I pulled from the Ancient Stones deck for you, Paul, and
cool.
my method is waiting until cards fly out at me. And I feel like,
No, go. You go. You go. I love that. I adore that. I think that's fabulous. Come to me, cards.
yeah, like if sometimes they'll just flip over right in the deck, and that to me stands out. Sometimes they'll fly right out and they'll fall on the floor. And then I like to take a look at the card that's on the bottom, because to me that's the one that initiated the reading. So the card that flipped over into the deck itself was Be the Mountain, which the words are slow and steady, foundations, patience. Um, where Linda was saying that she feels like this is a memory of a past life, I think if you give it more time, keep an open mind, and try to keep your energy focused toward that memory, more will be revealed. You just need to give it time and be consistent. And the more consistent you are, the more your results you're going to get sooner. The card that flipped over, fell on the floor, and was upside down was Obstacle. Now, notice there is a lady in a white dress in the center of this card. And it's like she's holding something in her hand that is shining light out to light the path in front of her. And it's sending all these vibrant colors, and it's making what looks immovable, it actually is showing you a clear way through. Because of the mountains on the side, you're seeing there's a path through the mountains. So the words on the bottom are find another road, flexibility, change. I think it's just, you've already found this new way of thinking. And I think the reason it was flipped over on the floor is because it's just unexpected to you that you're already there. You're already in this energy, you're already experiencing the things that you are seeking. You just need to recognize that you've already received this unexpected boon and just keep going forward with it. And the energy on the bottom, this was flipped over upside down for some reason, the Holy Mountain. And the figure there is in all black, as opposed to the lady in the white dress on the previous card. And I think that relates to who she thinks you were in this previous life. I think there might have been a religious aspect to your class.
I saw him wearing black, okay? And it just occurs to me now that he could have been a priest, a confessor, some kind, yeah.
A lot of children back in a few centuries ago, they were expected to have some kind of religious upbringing, especially if a family had too many children. They would usually give the youngest away to a nunnery or a monastery, and they would grow up there. And I don't get that sense of it, but I got the sense of, I get the sense there's some kind of religious aspect there, but it's flipped upside down and subverted, which I think means that you were kind of taken advantage of in that lifetime. Something may have gone awry in the perception there, because it's literally the only card that's flipped upside down in this whole deck, because I shuffle them overhand. So
that's very cool. Yeah. So that's an interesting play. That's an interesting thing to explore, Paul. If you ever want a reading, this is the kind of thing that you'd want to explore in a private reading. There's lots of us Akashic Records readers now, so you have a vast variety of choice as to who you'd want to do that. And thank you so much for your question. I think it's a freaking awesome question. Next, we have Emily Lawrence Bradley, who wants to know if she's on the right path and what should she be focusing on the most at this time. Okay. Your self-discovery. I heard that immediately. The path you're on is self-discovery. Finding out who you are, what you want to do, all of that stuff, self-discovery. What you like, what you don't like, what appeals to you, what is really boring to you, boring and tedious, and oh my God, no, keep that away from me. And that's what you should be focusing on, is discovering yourself, really exploring yourself deeply, because you have treasures that you don't have. There are treasures within. Oh, I love this. There are treasures within you have yet to discover. We are divine, and you have yet to connect to your divinity. That's something that you're discovering, that you're uncovering within yourself. That's what I got. Hi, Peace Mama.
All right. I went and pulled out my Chakra Wisdom Oracle deck for you, Emily, because that felt like the right deck to use. So 4 cards came falling out and fell on the floor. 1 was face down, and that was passion. So each, I think I've explained these cards before, but for anyone who wasn't there, this deck comes with, in in the guidebook, each one has a fable that goes along with it to kind of teach a lesson about that specific keyword. And I'm really drawn to the smile on her face there as she's reading the book to this older person. And it reminds me of how I used to read stories to my sister to help her fall asleep when she was younger. And I didn't do it for her. Well, like I didn't do it like just to like make her happy or whatever. Like I was truly passionate about sharing this with her because I was so passionate about it and I wanted her to love it as much as I did. So there was some selfishness to it, absolutely, but it was wanting to share something I love with someone that I love, and that passion is kind of rare these days. And that this one was hidden, I think that you may have forgotten about something that you're passionate about, and that it might help to rediscover that and maybe find someone you can share it with. So the other cards that came flying out and that were all face up are a medley. I got abundance, impasse, and facade.
Oh, interesting.
It is a very interesting combination, and the energy of the reading is guilt.
Oh.
So I'm wondering if you're holding yourself back by feeling like you need to be doing something else, and like this, they're walking on clouds, and we all know that clouds aren't solid. You're going to fall through. And it seems like someone's leading you on this path. You don't really want to be on that path, hence you're at the impasse. But you have an abundance of passion, and this person here that's leading you down this path, this isn't the same person that you want to be sharing your passion with. I think that you're holding yourself back with the guilt of knowing that this person can't really keep walking on these clouds without you. But you can't worry about someone else who wants to keep walking on clouds when they're just going to lead you to fall down through the clouds with them. So I think if you rediscover your passion and you find someone who truly loves you, that you love, and share it with, you'll find that you have an abundance of love in this relationship, and that this passion will bring you past this impasse. You won't be blocked by this person in the middle of the road anymore, this person leading you on the facade. And you'll release the guilt.
Wow. I got big chills. And Emily, wow, that was an amazing reading. Emily, something that fell into my head while you were, while Britt was talking, while Britt was reading for you. I'm reading a book right now that is, and it's been out for a while. Okay, it takes me a while to get around to stuff, and this book has given me so much food for thought. It's called Big Magic, and it's by Elizabeth Gilbert, and it's about creativity. And I suggest you read it. And Yeah, just read it. Big Magic by Elizabeth Gilbert. It's a fabulous book about creativity. It's taken me a week to read 3 chapters because I'll read a paragraph and my brain will go like a pinball machine, you know, bing, 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 all kinds of stuff going on. All these connections that are being made, all these insights that are falling into my head. It's an amazing book. Highly recommend it to anybody. But Emily, that thought fell into my head for you. So,
Yeah,
yes.
Emily, have you ever seen Mr. Deeds, the Adam Sandler movie? And toward the end, the premise is these guys want to take over a company so they can fire everybody. Ooh, sounds similar to current events, anybody? But Adam Sandler gets everyone to stand up in this big meeting about the shareholders, and they start all saying what they wanted to be when they were an adult. They wanted to be a magician, they wanted to be a cowboy, they wanted to be an astronaut.
Yeah.
I fall back on it's time for some self-reflection. Fall back on those passions you had when you were a kid. And that's the innate you before anyone really started to mess with you and start to, leave their stuff in your energy field and you started to absorb it. When you were a kid, you were your most.
The purest form of you.
Yes. So I've been doing the same thing. Going reflecting on what makes me feel passionate, what makes me feel motivated. And when you can answer those 2 questions, that will get you a lot closer to answering the question of what you want as a career, because you don't want to be miserable the rest of your working life. You want to at least be able to enjoy going into work if you're going to have to work, because 40 hours a week for the next 40 whatever years, it adds up so much time. You don't want to be miserable for that long of a time. It's just,
I mean, there's
wow.
ways of doing it. Like I did the 40 hours a week for 40 years. And in jobs that I had to bring my creativity to, you know, to make them endurable. And I had to find ways outside to oh, Britt, you just got a subscriber. Leah just subscribed. And in order to be able to survive. But if I'd had a choice, I didn't have a choice because I had a family to support. But if I'd had a choice, there's lots of things I would have loved to be a fashion designer. Oh my God, I love working with fabric and textile. Well, when I was growing up, that wasn't even a career option. It was teacher, nurse, work in the bank, that sort of stuff, or be a secretary. And I fell into, data analysis that way, but I fell into it. It wasn't something I chose, and it certainly wouldn't have been something I would have chosen at 16 or 18 if I had known that there was a way to become a fashion designer. There was a way to work with textiles and fabric and color and all of that. There was a way you could do it. That wasn't even an option. So yeah, I get that. Totally get that. Yeah, I don't regret my life, because it's been really interesting. But anyway, yeah. Yeah. So read that book. Read that book, Emily, because your comment really touched me. Read that book. You don't need permission to be creative. You don't need permission. And if you do, I give you permission. If that helps. I hope that helps, Emily. I really feel for you. I honestly do. And I'm a little envious too, because you're at the very beginning, right? I'm looking back on a life and you're just going, the hell am I going to do with the next 50 years? Oh, it's wonderful. Okay, Leah's next, and she wants a Viviani special. Yeah, exactly, Moira. My life brought me where I am now, and I'm very happy where I am. In fact, I'm actually very joyful with where I am right now. I'm not just happy. I feel pretty joyful most of the time, unless I have to vacuum. But there you go. Okay, Leah wants an Akashic reading. Okay. And if you feel like jumping in here, Britt, go right ahead. Okay, so here's a message for Leah. I love these moments. I am getting just this overwhelming wave of love and tenderness for you, Leah, from your masters and your guides who are I just don't even have words. Just all the unconditional love and acceptance and tenderness, and just you're a precious flower, a jewel to them, and they treasure you. Okay, take that in. Take that in. um but there's more. But wait, there's more. They would like you to cultivate resilience. I don't know how. I I know very little about you, Leah, and about your life, but they would like you to cultivate resilience so that you can bounce back from adverse events. Don't get too involved in what's going on. Or, oh, here it is. Don't participate where you don't belong. Don't If you don't belong, don't go there. If it doesn't call you, don't go there. Don't be with people who don't love you. Mm. Find the people that you share values with. Find the people that you share goals with, and be with them and love them and build your little community, and rely on your community and pour yourself into that community, and your community will pour back into you. I think this is a good message for everybody. Stop that. Um, resilience, resilience, bouncing back from stuff that happens, unpleasant stuff that happens, so that you can maintain your equilibrium no matter what's going on around you, so that you can maintain your center, you can maintain your authenticity, you can be who you are truthfully, and authentically speak your truth no matter what's going on around you. Resilience and love, just a huge amount of love for you. Just wow. Yeah. Yeah.
I shuffled some cards, and some cards did come flying out for Leah. Um, so the first thing I'm noticing amongst all of these cards, because the three that came flying out are this one here, the Sanctuary, this one here, Nothing is Impossible,
I love that.
and this one here, Temple. And then the energy was this one, Tag Stone. Is that a fire alarm?
Yeah, I'm sorry. Like for the last 3 months, the first Thursday's fire alarm test, they missed it and they just decided to start it again today. I guess we didn't get any warning. Uh, I got complacent because they haven't done it since like November.
Well,
So
at least they just started.
30
Um,
seconds and then it'll be over.
okay. If you can hear me in the
Yeah.
meantime, which I think we can all hear me. So the first thing I noticed about these cards was that each one has a shining light in the center,
Ooh.
each and every one. And the final one has it almost kind of looks like it's I know it's coming through the stone, the hagstone, but it looks like it's coming from her solar plexus, right? Um, or kind of like the heart and solar plexus,
Yeah.
kind of like in the middle there. So that's the first thing I noticed, and the second thing I noticed is that each figure is a different woman. And I noticed that while you were speaking about finding like-minded people. So all of this, it screams at me that to focus on that inner light in the center, and to focus on enhancing your own inner power. Um, so I mean, literally, it
Yeah.
is coming from within her, the light, and it's being focused by that stone and shining a beam there. And that's what you need to do. And
I love it.
focus, enhance, concentrate.
I love that. That's wonderful. And Leah, I mean, we all have our community here online, but you need to find people in real life too. You need to have a real life community, people that you can call to come help you plant your garden or to share your garden with, when you have too many tomatoes and zucchinis and whatnot. Yes. So, yeah, you need people in like the world around you as well as the world online. So, yeah, that's right, Leah. That's exactly right. I love it.
Yep.
I love it. Look at this. Look at this, you guys. Isn't that awesome? Yeah. Sing that to yourself. Great little song.
Yeah, we all have different strengths and weaknesses, and the way that we bolster each other is by working together. And you can always strengthen your weaknesses by learning how to approach them, and being with other people. You learn through their experiences as well, and you
Yeah.
share experiences and you learn from each other. And I mean, it in a group like that, there are no weaknesses because everyone's strengths cover each other.
Yeah. Yeah, that's right. That's right. It's real. Yeah. Yeah. People who know how to garden, people who don't, people who know how to can and preserve, people who don't. It's freaking awesome.
It's a
Ah,
team effort, and when you work together as a team,
yeah.
you can achieve many things.
Working in groups, you can achieve anything. Working in groups, working in community is really uh, magic.
Yeah.
It's another way of doing big magic is community. Um, I hope that helps, Leah. I think this was great. Thank you so much, Britt, and thank you, Leah, for asking your question. Was it awesome reading? Next, we have Andrea or Andrea. I'm not sure exactly how you're. Um, okay. Oh, Diane G says she had a message last night from a guide. Wait a second. I want to post this up and I'll come right back to you. Okay. Andrea, look at this. Differences will work to your advantage. They always do. This is why I don't get the whole hate against having different kinds of people working together, because it's always advantageous to have that cross pollination, that cross fertilization, whatever you call it, of people from with different experiences, different backgrounds, different knowledge, working together to a common goal. Because look at all the resources they can bring to it. It's all so awesome.
Yeah.
So thanks for that, Diane. Thanks for sharing that with us. Yes, the sum is greater than the parts. Okay, Andrea wants an Akashic reading. Okay, great. So Andrea, I mean, I hope you don't feel left out, because it's not that your guides and masters don't love you. It's that they're a little focused on something else. Every message is different, and I don't want you to feel like they don't love you, because that's not what they lead with. You have to take that for granted. You have to take that as given, that you are held in the utmost love and respect we all are, by our guides and our masters, that we are precious and treasured by those who are with us, those who walk with us in the spirit realm or the quantum field, whatever you want to call it. I don't care. The other world. Do you maybe need to do a little more work and more there maybe, well, no, let me just double check that, because now's the time for you to really focus on your spiritual development. Now's the time for you to finish the shadow work, I guess, that you started, but to finish dealing with it so that you can make some real progress spiritually. I don't know what you have to do that. I mean, go to therapy, whatever. I don't know. But the message is very clear to finish that so you can go further. Deal with that so you can go further. And here's something, I mean, they're saying finish it, but but there's no such thing as finishing it. And we all know that, okay? Anybody who's ever done any shadow work, it's never finished. You're going to be doing it your whole life, especially in this culture. Because the culture itself is toxic, especially to women, but also to men, just as much to men in a different way. So take your shadow work seriously and work with it, and you'll see a lot of progress spiritually. Your connections with your guides will be stronger. Your connection with spirit will be stronger. Your connection with yourself will be stronger. You will be more able to be authentic, to be who you truly are, because that's the path for everyone, is to discover and embody who we truly are, who we were created to be. Hugs and kisses, your guides. They don't have much else to say. There's yeah. Oh, sweetie. Yeah, impatience will absolutely um, um, impatience will absolutely be a um, an impairment, an impediment. That's the word. An impediment, an obstacle for you. Patience and forgiveness for yourself. You need that. You need to be patient and forgiving and loving towards yourself. Pretend, pretend, pretend you're talking to your best friend, and do the things for your own self that you would do for your best friend. Lead with that energy that you would towards your best friend, your dearest friend, the person that you've known and loved since you were in like grade 5. You know what I mean? Like, or kindergarten or whatever. Lead with that energy towards yourself. Hmm. Yeah.
Okay, so I grabbed yet another deck. This one I grabbed is the Sacred Light Oracle. And so the card that flipped over for me, and you're going to love this, Linda. Energy Medicine.
Ooh.
So the reading, the energy of the reading is this card here. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it says crossing the rainbow bridge,
Bring
coming
it
to
up a little.
circle, resurrection.
Bring it a little closer so I can see the writing.
Ah, yep. There you go.
Antakaram. That sounds like Indian, like Hindu.
Might be. But I'd like to read the passage from the guidebook for the energy medicine card because I think it will really stick out. Um, the Golden Ascension Goddess Master Parvati asks that you relax and fall into your creative and sensual self, which was born from the sacred fire. Deep rest can be found when you surrender your energy to the mountainous places, the birthplace of Parvati. Her divine energy medicine can adjust any imperfect vibrations surrounding sensuality, your home life, and feminine imbalance combined with your conscious action. Parvati's divine strength and power is clearly demonstrated as her golden resonance flows between all connections of life in balanced power. This divine manifestation of the divine feminine brings fertile energy that will nurture any seeds you have planted. Celestial sounds combined with divine devotion will produce fertile gardens for you to plant seeds for any outcome your heart desires. Give them time to grow with positive energy medicine.
I got big changes.
It also recommends a crystal. It recommends creedite. I'll write that in the chat for you to see. And the affirmation it gives you is I share my sacred self with divine love. I resonate in harmony. So I really like that. I really think it's very beautiful and it really stood out to me.
Yeah.
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 I
I got no words. I got no words. It's just yeah.
I would
No.
even, ask that specific ascension master for assistance because it seems kind of like
Yeah.
she was picked for you.
Well, that's usually what happens, in chats. Like I don't do a lot of picking, but like I don't pick who's going to ask questions. I don't pick the questions they're going to ask. It's just sort of like it's a very synchronicitous kind of process. It's very magical.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. The totality. Okay, here, I'm going to put this up here. Antakarana is a concept in Hindu philosophy referring to the totality of the mind, including the thinking faculty, the sense of I-ness, and the discriminating faculty. Where's Gerald? Like, that's a show.
Very cool. Thank you for that information,
Very
Rob.
cool. Yeah, thanks, Rossi. That is so cool. Oh, and she's got more. Look at this. Oh, Rossi, you're awesome. Anta means inner and karana means instrument or function. Therefore, the word antakarana can be understood as inner organ, inner functions, or inner instrument. Whoa. Okay. Okay, like I got a pinball for a brain again. Yeah, okay. I hope that helps, Andrea. I don't really know what else to say because, like, that was a heck of a reading. I hope it gives you lots of food for thought and food for contemplation and meditation. You know, like to really integrate that into yourself. You're so welcome.
Yeah, if you don't practice Reiki, I highly recommend it. It's just for yourself. You don't even need to worry about being able to practice on other people. Just being able to bring the energy into yourself, it will help heal your not just your physical body, but your energy body, your emotional body. It will help.
Yeah, it helps you balance. It's really wonderful for that.
Yeah,
And it's worth it for everybody to learn to get, like, maybe 2 levels of Reiki, because 3rd level, the mastery level, you really, I mean, if you want to teach it, sure. If you want to be like, teach it or start doing it for other people, but just for your own self, level 1, level 2, that's perfect. Your answers are within you. Yeah, it's true for everybody, isn't it? Excellent advice about Reiki. Okay, thanks, Britt, and thank you, Andrea, for trusting us with your question. Oh, good one. Thank you for that, Britt.
Thank you.
Next, we have Moira, who wants to know if she had a past life in ancient Mesoamerica. Okay. My neck is crunchy. So I see a village of mud huts. Well, mud, I mean, adobe, okay? Like, it's very clean and very tidy and very organized. And there you are with 3 kids and 1 packed on your back, and you're pounding corn. Your husband is a farmer. The village has maybe 10 houses. it's a small village, and it's high up in the mountains. Actually, it's in a valley. It's surrounded by mountains. I should be more precise. It's surrounded by mountains, but it is in a valley, and there's a river at the bottom of the valley, and the river is where you get your water for irrigation, but also from the rains. Wow, the engineering. Holy shit, these terraced fields that go up and down the mountainside that are irrigated. So there are tanks to catch the rainfall. Okay, no, you wanted to know about the life. Never mind the engineering. Um, um, oh, okay. So I see that there's a runner who's come with a message for the headman of the village, and the message has come from the ruler. I don't know what they were called, the king. I'm going to say king because that's what I guess. Uh, the ruler has sent messengers out to the entire population, um, telling them of these. Well, it's white people, right, that have come. It's probably Pizarro and his men that have come, and that everybody is um, to gather to villages. No, not everybody, but villages are supposed to send representatives to the capital city, um, uh, because that's what the king wants. That's all they say. It's just every village is supposed to send a representative. So your husband is sent as a representative to the city. There's uh okay, so this is all confused. There's a lot of fighting, and some of the people are taken, some of your people are taken prisoner by the Spanish. Your husband manages to escape, but other people too. He's not the only one, but some people manage to escape, and he brings some kind of, I'm going to say plague, but it's not like the Black Death or anything. It's some kind of, I don't know what it is that he brings, but more than half the village dies. He dies. Um, 3 of your children, the 3 oldest children, die, but you and the baby, somehow you survive. And there's only like 5 or 6 other people in the village that survive, and you're in shock. Like, how could this happen within the space of 2 weeks? Oh my God, 2 weeks. I mean, I don't know. It could have been measles, for crying out loud. I can't tell by looking at these people what it was. And it doesn't really matter. Um, and so there's a lot of, like, people have to be, like, funeral rites have to be performed. And everybody is just, the survivors are just numb with shock and guilt and disbelief and all of that stuff. But you have a baby to feed, you have a baby to provide for. You're responsible for that child, and you really deeply feel that responsibility, and so you do your best to get up and do what you have to do for survival. And I guess that's the lesson of that lifetime, is the survival comes first. You can weep later. Like, feel survive first, feel your feelings later. And it's happening all over amongst the population from those people that, ah, man. So that's what happened. I never knew that. That's what I got for you, Moira.
I pulled the ancient stones, and I got 2 cards that flipped over for me. The first one was the egg stone. You can see there it says feminine power, embodiment, fertility. So I think this is you in that past life. This is who you were. She mentioned you had 3 children, another baby.
And a baby and a baby. Yeah.
Yep. So this was you. You loved your role as a mother. You were proud of all that you had achieved. You were proud that so many of your children had made it as far as they had through the younger years. Because remember back then they had a lot of children because it was like 50-50 if they were going to survive past like 5 years old. Yeah. So you were so proud of yourself. You loved being a mother to your children. It was
everything. It was everything.
Yep. And then came the struggles, and it came time to release the past. You lost some of your children, you lost your husband, you lost a lot of your friends, people that you considered family. And you had to push forward though, because you had that baby still you had to provide. You still had friends that were alive, even if they, were facing the same struggles you were, and this was the energy of the reading.
Yeah.
You were someone they could depend on. You were the wise person that was left, that was able to lead everyone and to organize everyone and to keep pushing forward for the survivors and to try to restore what you could and survive what you had to survive in order to live. And they looked to you, and so you had to force yourself to move on. But it's not easy. You can push and push and push, but if you don't actually transform and truly let go of the past, it will eventually eat you and be your downfall. So that I pulled this card as the energy of the reading. I think that you were able to overcome that past. You were able to release it. And I think you were able to lead everyone to the best of your ability. I mean, we all know how history went down, but you did what you could to try to save the ones that you loved. And take heart in that you were a strong person in that lifetime. And if you were strong then, you're strong now. You're the same person you were then. It's just a different body. Yeah. So
yeah, and the reason, the motivation, your love for your children was what motivated you to survive. Because if it had been up to you, if you had been left without husband, without children, you would have just laid down and said, okay, that's it, I give up. But you had a baby to look after, and so you kept going because of that baby, because that baby had to live. Wow.
Power to you, dude.
Yeah, tough, man. Good lesson. Survive now, cry later. Yeah. I hope that helps, Moira. I'm glad that it made sense to you. Difficult life. My heart goes out to your soul.
Yeah.
Mm.
That you came through such a struggle and what seems to be such a beautiful way. I would have so much pride in myself if I were you. I really
Yeah.
hope you do, because not everyone, can rise to that occasion and accept the challenge and beat the challenge. And for all the reading, it seems like you beat the challenge, and that's damn. I kudos. Kudos doesn't even cover it. Thank you for being awesome.
Yeah, thank you so much, because that was awesome to see that, Moira. My hat's off to you. I did a um Capricorn rising. Yeah. Oh yeah, okay. I see it. Um the I overestimated the number of readings that we could do. We still have 4 readings, and we've been reading for an hour and a half. How are you doing?
I'm okay.
Yeah, you're all right? Okay.
Yeah. Husband's home. He's got the dogs wrangled, I assume. So
Oh, okay. All right.
good.
Okay. If you need a bathroom break, just let me know. You can turn off your camera and
I was thinking about it, but so far so good.
yeah, okay. Okay. Next we have Pierrette. Yeah, I just want to just get out of that for a second. Just let me ground myself. Where's my... No, okay, it's right here.
I'm a little confused by the phrasing of the question.
Okay, so there's a part 1 to the question, and I'll put that up here. Oh no. Wait, I guess I forgot to star that. But she says that she heals with angels, and she's given, maybe I can find it further up. Hold on for just a second. I'm going to mark that, and then I'm going to look for the original, if I can find my stupid scrolling thingy. It was a long time ago, so I'm not sure I'll be able to find it. It was and now I can't find my stupid scrolling thingy. There it is. Okay, hang on. Okay, no, I give up. Okay.
I didn't see the moon was here.
Huh?
I didn't even see that moon scarab was here.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I've been given the gift of working with the angels while being in sessions.
Thank you. That's it. So, well, in the healing sessions that she's talking about, the healing sessions, because she's a healer. She's a really powerful healer. And she says, so she was given the gift of angels, seeing angels in her healing sessions, and she wants to ask how to explain how they work. Oh, so you want the masters to explain how they work and help your clients. Is that right? Do I have that correct, Pierrette?
That does.
You want the masters to explain how the angels work, or how the masters themselves work to help your clients, yes? Or no? Ouch. My bum's getting numb. Sorry, let me just adjust my seating here, because I'm on the, after that last reading, I'm on the edge of my seat, right? Because it was
How you guys feeling up there with the tariffs? Got whiplash yet?
Well, everybody I know and everybody that I'm in touch with we're just not buying American.
Good.
You know, tariff, no tariff, do what you want. We're just not buying American. Um,
Good.
so at the dollar store, no more Doritos.
I mean, hopefully they weren't much of a staple in your diet, and you're not missing out much.
No, but they were a treat. No, they were never a staple. Oh my God, no. But wow, what a life if they were. But no, they were a treat though. They were a big treat, and I kind of miss that. But oh,
Yeah.
okay. So Pierrette wants to know, should I ask them how they work? Who, the angels or the masters? Because there's no way of me telling how. Yeah, I know. Who, the angels or the masters? Who works? So yeah, I never bought, well, I mean, I don't buy much other than groceries, really. And, you know, from the thrift store. Um, but it's been interesting seeing everybody's reactions on Reddit on the Canadian. Oh, ask the masters how the angels work. Is that what you want to know, Pierre? I mean, is Rossi right? Or ask the masters how the masters work. Oh, angels, how the angels work. Okay, all right, that's easy. I mean, sorry, I understand it, so it's easier now. I will say though that you really know you screwed up real bad when the Québécois, who in the past have tried to have voted on referendums on leaving Canada, okay, when they're talking about being proud Canadians. Like, how bad do you have to screw up for that to happen?
Like I'm
Oh,
ashamed to be American. Just putting
don't
it out
be.
there.
No, it's not your, I mean, you didn't do it and you didn't vote for it, so you have nothing to be ashamed of. It's your government that needs to be ashamed, and the population that needs to hold it to account, you know?
Yeah, but no one in MAGA is ashamed, so that's why we have to be ashamed for them.
No, don't. Don't. Let them live in it. Let them enjoy what they voted for. You
I
know?
mean, in as much that I don't want to wish harm on anybody, I am very glad that they're being the maggiest MAGA that they could MAGA, because it is so
Karma's a,
blatantly obvious for anyone who's not watching Fox News anymore.
yeah, I know. But and so now reality is hitting, and it's hitting hard, and lessons have to be learned, and voila. I mean, it's too bad we all have to, you know, those of us who do know better, have to suffer the lessons as well. But, you know, lead with compassion. Yeah, the lessons are tough.
Yep.
Yeah. Don't be ashamed of MAGA. They need to own up to their actions. Yeah, that's right. They need to face the consequences of the decisions that were made. That's just reality. That's how life works. Okay, so how the angels work. The angels are um, messengers of the divine. Okay, I mean, this is like we know this, and they are able to really effectively channel divine energy to whatever ends they want to put them, so they can, I mean, for good, right? um because the angels aren't the ones that are sowing discord, and the humans are doing that. Angels can only channel good, or create well-being, radiate love, radiate light, unconditional love and acceptance. And how they work, you might as well say it's magic, because it's a deeply because we live in the physical 3D world. There's a lot about, well, most of what happens in the spiritual realm is beyond our perception and our understanding. So angels work entirely in the spiritual realm. They have the ability, if they want it, to have an effect on the physical realm, because they're angels and they're like next to God, right? They're entirely spirit. There are other light beings that are healers as well. Like some of the alien light beings are really, really good healers too. But the angels have chosen to work with you, Pierrette. But I have the feeling that you get some aliens hanging around too, and looking and watching, and pitching in where they can offer something that, oh, here, I know how to do that. How about trying this? I get the feeling that there's one or two aliens, or maybe even more, but I see one or two that come around regularly when you're healing, when you're doing healings, and offer their skills as well. And some things are easier for some angels than it is for others, just like with people, I guess. Some they have skills in certain areas, like some are brain angels. Brain angels, where the hell did that come from? There's a lot of cancer angels, and they show up because they want to work with you. That's their mission. That's their role, is to work with you, specifically you. Okay, not. I mean, they may be working with other people on the planet, but not that many. And although if you call on them, I mean, any of us can call on angels for help healing ourselves. Okay, we can do that. Any of us can, but it's like, okay, so it's like part of it has to do with our faith and our belief. And Tiaret really believes in angels and always has. And some of us don't, or we think, oh yeah, angels, well, yeah, whatever. And so they have less freedom. Oh, that's interesting. I didn't know this. They have less, or a different, not less, but a different freedom of movement, depending on the energy of faith and certitude and belief that we have while they're working. Like our energy impacts their energy and their ability to effect change on a physical level. That's interesting. I didn't know that. So how they work, well, I'm talking to one of your angels now.
What's the name, Linda?
Oh, good question. What's your name? Now they're laughing at me and saying I couldn't pronounce it. Okay, so what name do you want to be known by in the material world? Do you want to be known by a name in the material world? Malasha. Does anybody know anything about that? This is just this isn't an archangel. This is just like an angel, okay, that I'm speaking to. They've chosen to work with Piera. She's doing really important work. She's breaking ground in healing. She's doing revolutionary stuff with her healing. Well, I knew that. Yeah, she is. And how they work, like Malasha's just throwing up their hands and going, spiritually, that's how we work. We exercise our spiritual force on the physical world to exert change, which is what prayer does, which is what magic does. So you might as well call it magic. Oh, okay. So I was right. They lend their spiritual powers on a, like, not even a molecular level, but like submolecular. Does that exist? I don't know. Maybe it's quantum. Maybe they're trying to say quantum. Malasha says, yeah, quantum-ish, kind of. It's something we don't have any awareness of. It's something we don't even know exists. But it's a place where change can be spiritual force, spiritual energy can be exerted to make a physical change. And that's how it works. And Tieret is an excellent, excellent conduit, because they can't, I mean, they could work by themselves, but even when you're the one who's sick and you're asking for the angels to come and heal, they need your energy too. Like it has to be a partnership. In this healing work, there has to be a partnership. So it's a partnership with Pierrette. But if you wanted, like, just any of you, all of us, if I wanted a healing because I stubbed my toe. I mean, I wouldn't ask an angel to heal that. That's just so minor. But if I had like something that I really wanted angelic intervention, the first thing would have to be that I'd be willing to empty myself and be like a hollow channel for the angelic energy, and really believe in it. Like, without a solid belief, it hampers the effects. So it's okay. For example, when you're working, it's okay if people don't really have a belief in God or angels or spirit or anything, because you do. And that's the channel that the angels are using. And then the body that they're working on doesn't really matter so much. But if you're working on yourself, then that matters. Does that make sense? Sorry, I had my eyes closed, so I can't really see what's going on. I'm sorry, you guys.
Rossi took a shot at spelling, and I put a name a little bit further up than that of I'm an ascended master with a name that sounds similar to what you were saying.
I'm looking. Yeah, Cody, we all need more angels in our life. Yeah, I saw that channeling with Dave Johnson earlier today. Maha Shohan. Let me check. Big smile and arms raised and applause. Yes, it's Maha Shohan. So that's an ascended master? That's not an angel?
That is
Okay.
an ascended master. So you are going to love the cards that I have, because
Okay, you go, because that's what I've got for you, Pierre.
so the energy of the reading that I pulled is scales of karma, a cycle of disharmony, creating new traditions, unfortunate events. So what Linda was saying before about how it's like they're entrusting you with this knowledge because with all of the unfortunate stuff that's going on around, they know they need more more people who are able to do healing work, and so through you they are doing that work. And this is Maha Shohan teaching you, you know, you are the student, and they are teaching you, and they're sharing this energy with you, because you can see there's kind of a connection between the two of them, and they're in this bubble here together, and they're sharing knowledge with each other, and he's bestowing knowledge to you. And then the card that actually flipped over is galactic vibrations.
Whoa.
Conviction, raising your vibration, direct channel. So when you are actually doing the healing, they're working directly through you. As Linda was saying, it's like they put their hands on you,
yes,
and flow the energy through you into you know, whatever you're directing your energy at. And the really awesome thing is that the card, the Ascended Master associated with this card is Maha Shohan, which is why I asked if that was the name of the person that Linda was speaking with, or however you
I
want.
don't get names very easily. Like I hear things very clearly, but names somehow. Oh, hey, look at this. Rossi, oh my God, the encyclopedia, look at you. As the representative of the Holy Spirit, holy moly, Pierrette, look at this. The Mahashohan embodies the white light of all the rays and teaches the sevenfold balance of the rays of the seven mighty Elohim. Big chills all the way down to my knees.
Oh yeah. And I saw a little bit further up, she says that Archangel Salafiel, I'm butchering it, is the new one that came into her yesterday. And I wanted to let you know that the angel that's associated with this card is Galadriel. So that I would ask if that is also the name of an angel that's been working with you, because it literally just flipped over immediately. This card immediately flipped over. So I do believe, if you're not already working with this angel, that they want to work with you. And I'll put the spelling in chat for you for that one as well. So as I figure out,
Is it Galadriel, like Lord of the Rings, the Elven King Galadriel? No,
yeah, that's what I was like, wait, what? And then I was like, okay, maybe that's how they got the name, because, you know, everything in science fiction, they draw from something that's real. Like even
it's channeled. Yeah. Totally.
Yeah, Chronicles of Narnia, that's literally Aslan is supposed to be like Jesus. Like
Yeah.
it's everyone draws their inspiration from something that's real. So yeah, if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan,
and yeah,
spelling.
Leah says Tolkien was very religious, and yes, he was.
Yep.
Yeah. So
Very
yeah,
good.
Galadriel. Yeah. Oh, well, Pierrette, does that help?
That's so awesome. Like they literally just put their hands on you. Like I get this picture in my head of just hands everywhere all around her, and then just
yeah. She's an amazing healer. This woman, Pierrette, she is an amazing healer. We are very lucky that she's in the universe with us at this time. Okay, you yeah, that's all I'm going to say. Okay, so
Very cool.
I love you, Pierrette. I love you so much. Hang on. Okay, next. Oh, great. Thank you, Wanda, for your contribution to the conversation. Talk about grounding. I know. I'm never going to think too much of myself, right? Because, yeah, here's what I think of you, Mom. Let me see if I can hide it. No, nobody wants to look at that
She
one.
thought you were flying a little too high in the clouds.
Yeah. Here, let's do a little grounding. Oh, you're welcome, Pieta, anytime. Okay, so next we have Tamara, who wants to know the T-shaped pillars in Göbekli Tepe. Those were part of, and what I'm telling you, like I'm not connecting to the masters right now because this was part of what we looked at in the practice group, because we do weird things in the practice group. Those T-shaped pillars were part of a transportation system, a portal system, if you will, and they were decommissioned very carefully when that site was closed down. So they don't work anymore. There is a way to reactivate them, but we're not going to discover that for like quite some time yet. And those, yeah, good luck for me. A bird should wear it. Portals to the aliens, yes, portals to different places on this planet and on other planets. But they were basically like, the movie or the TV series Stargate, where you walk in somewhere and it goes whoa, 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 whoa. Yeah, okay, so like that, but like that. That basic idea. That's what they were.
Yeah,
And I really, excuse me for just a second, Britt, for interrupting. Excuse me. I am so impressed that you actually put the umlauts on the capital O in Göbekli Tepe. Okay. I am like beyond impressed by that. I have to tell you, because that's the kind of little hook my eyeballs just go for. And yeah, impressive as hell. Okay. Sorry. Go ahead.
no,
Useless.
it's cool. It's cool because I mean I don't even know how to do that, so I'm just impressed by anybody.
Yeah, that me neither.
Yeah, same kudos.
Good.
Yeah, I went with the ancient stones.
Oh, good idea. Yeah. Good idea. Perfect.
So the
Hush.
card that flipped over is this one. Now, I know it says releasing the past, but you can also look at this and doesn't it kind of look like Scotty getting beamed up into the airship, like she was just saying? Yeah, like the you know,
Transport.
I thought that was funny. And the energy one the energy of the reading is Wisdom Keeper. And I don't think this is so much the the stones themselves, but more the way they were used to to go to other places to learn from, like it kind of like the comparison of going abroad for your college education and going from America to like France or Germany and just immersing yourself in the culture and learning by being there.
Yeah.
And really learning through experience. And I mean, beam me up, Scotty, so I can go somewhere else and experience a different place. That would be so cool.
That's like that ancient joke. Beam me up, Scotty. There's no intelligent life down here.
Wow.
That's ancient. That's like from, I don't know, the 90s or something, or maybe even earlier than that. Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, that's very cool. And it turns out that Tamara is able to do it because their mother tongue is Turkish. So they have a Turkish keyboard, no doubt.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
impressive. Okay. I
cool.
hope that helps, Tamara. I hope that answers your question, and thank you for asking it. I love these questions. I really do. Oh, hang on a second. I'm a little behind. Sorry. I'm a little behind. Oh yeah, I could be beamed up like tonight. As long as I can bring my birds, I'm fine. Okay, next we have Rossi, who wants to know, can the masters tell me if
That's so cute.
Oh, Rossi, are you listen, you should save this for practice session, okay? This is the kind of thing we do in practice session. I don't know if you want this to be public. Okay.
What do you think is gonna come up?
I don't know if I want this to be public. Okay, hang on. And don't any of the rest of you chatters get any ideas about this, okay? Nomads. I see nomads, but they're not really horse nomads. They're like herding nomads, and it's a hot and dry kind of mountainous kind of place. I mean, I don't know. It could be like uh, I don't know, like Kazakhstan or that kind of place, because the people look kind of Asian, but it could even be Mongolia. They kind of look Asian, but not Chinese Asian. That makes sense. Um, Central Asia, Central Asian, but they're not horse nomads. They're they have there's an annual thing where they drive the animals, the whole village, the whole community goes with the animals up to the mountains in the summer and brings them down in the valleys in the winter, and they live in tents. No wonder I hate camping. um, in that lifetime you were my mother. Oh, wait, sorry, no. You're my older sister. There's like 5 children. 2 boys, 3 girls. You're the oldest girl. There's an older boy. And then the 3 younger ones. There's a gap in the middle. There was a child who died or a miscarriage or something. There's an age gap between you and I. And from the age of about 5 or maybe 6, kids are working right alongside their parents herding these, I guess they're goats or sheep. Sheep. That's what they are. They're sheep. So who herds sheep in that? Oh, never mind. It doesn't matter. See, I follow rabbit holes, like even when I'm doing this. It's hard for me to look at my own past lives. It's a hard life because water is not easy to find. And when you find it, everybody fills up their bags and the buckets and everything else and waters the sheep. And so the route is a route that's been developed like for centuries. There's watering holes, and you just drive the animals into the next watering hole, and then everybody camps for a couple of days, and then you pack up again, and then you go on to the next watering hole and you camp for a couple of days. And doesn't matter if it's cold or raining or snowing or what, because the animals are driven up to the mountains in the spring, right? So the weather is really, and there's earthquakes sometimes. Yeah, it's a difficult life, but it's there's a lot of injuries, like people fall down the mountain. Little kids and old people fall down the mountain. But because you're following the sheep, right? So, and the sheep can go just about anywhere, and they have a tendency to pick their own paths, and you follow the sheep. But the path has been pretty well marked out over the centuries. There's still really tricky parts that are very narrow. So why are you showing me this? What happens? Uh, okay, so I'm like 6 or 7, and I'm expected to be able to drive the sheep just like everybody else. But of course, I'm stupid because I'm 6, and I'm one of the ones who falls down the mountain. That's why they're showing me that. You, Rossi, feel really guilty because you think that you should have been watching me more carefully, and 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 so you're carrying a lot of guilt the rest of your life, and you don't have to. So release the guilt, clear yourself of it. You're still carrying it. It's not yours. You had nothing to be guilty about. It was an accident. And that's you. Mm, you and I signed the contract to teach you the lesson of what belongs to me and what doesn't. What am I responsible for and what am I not? And, you know, not my circus, not my monkeys, which is a really important lesson to learn. But you're still carrying the guilt. It wasn't your circus. These weren't your monkeys. This was your lesson. So, and I know you know how to release that for yourself. I know you know how to do that. So release it. Yeah, Millie, we're still on. Yeah, I do hate camping. I really do. Uh, Go ahead.
I pulled from 2 different decks. I'm going to start with the second one that I pulled from. I pulled from my Cat Full of Spiders tarot deck.
What? Say that again. Cap full of spiders?
Cat Full of Spiders.
A cat full of spiders.
It's my favorite tarot deck that I've gotten by far because I love the pictures. They really tell a story to me. So, and the story they're telling me kind of goes along with the story that you just told us. Because the card that flipped over is the Chariot. And that to me speaks of pushing forward, kind of having tunnel vision
yes.
in a way. And the energy of the reading when I pulled it is the Eight of Pentacles, and I love the imagery on this card because it's a mom baking so many freaking pies that I'm sure she has no idea what to do with them, and one of them's just going right out the window, being taken right out the window, and she's clueless because she's focusing on this one here, and that to me speaks of the tunnel vision of focusing so much on the perfection of this that you forgot that your kid was only 6 and isn't this concentrated and mature enough to be able to handle this kind of task. And so then we lead into the other cards I pulled. I pulled from my Wandering Heart deck.
Oh, yeah.
And the card that flipped over was Solitude. So this speaks to me of how you were feeling after the death of a child, and any one of us will feel very alone in a situation like that, and how you continue to push forward because you had to, but you felt so alone for the rest of that life. You just kept going on your own, and you never really forgot about it. But the energy of the reading is redemption. And
yeah,
like Linda was just saying, you guys signed a contract, and this is just let it go. Let it go. If what happened, and the important thing is to learn from it. And that next pie you bake, you don't need to bake so many pies. You just need to bake one really good pie. And this lifetime is going to be that pie, and you're going to be feeling pretty redeemed by the end of it. And I mean, I'm sure you already are, just in working with Linda as you have been. So I think it tells a beautiful story of love and forgiveness.
Oh, look at what Rossi says.
Yep.
Well, that fits.
Yep.
Wow, big sis. This is absolutely homework for you, Rossi, is to go and release that for yourself.
Absolutely.
So yeah, because and maybe that's something we can do in practice on Sunday if you want to, if you come. Not so many pies. Not so many pies. Yeah. I love you too, big sis. Wow, interesting life. Yeah, and no wonder I hate camping, man. Cold ground. No matter how many blankets you have under you, it's always damn cold. Mm-hmm. And yeah, okay. I hope that helps, Rossi. That was certainly really interesting for me because I hardly ever look at my past lives. Partly because I don't want to know, and partly because my masters have said it's not really important. Focus on what you're doing now. Focus on the road ahead. So I try to follow the instructions I get. I mean, imperfectly, I know, but I try to follow the instructions I get. So next, Venus wants to know, am I supposed to be doing multiple jobs like I am now, or just one? Just off, like not connected, like just off the cuff from the hip. You're supposed to do what you have to do to survive. So I'm okay with hating camping, Diane. There's no need for me to like camping. I don't have any camping equipment. I never go camping. There's no need for me to release anything around hating camping, believe me. Again, that's not something I need to worry about. If I ever do, then I'll work on that. But yeah. Okay. So for a deeper answer, well, I was almost on. Um, so I'm hearing from your guides that you're learning the value of survival. And you can be more efficient about your survival, like roof over your head, food in your belly, an internet connection. uh, you can become more efficient about it by getting better jobs that pay more. But survival is always like number one for everybody, for light workers, for everyone. Survival is critical. It doesn't matter how spiritual you are if you've got nothing to eat. You can be as spiritual as you want. You still have to eat. Um, um,
You got more?
I'm not sure. Just let me look for ways to make your survival to make your survival more efficient is what I'm getting. So maybe find one better paying job. So you only have to work 2 jobs instead of 3 or 4, or however many you've got right now. Just learn to be more efficient about your survival is what I'm getting. Because it's not good either. Like there needs to be balance. There needs to be balance between what you do to survive and what you do to survive, what you need to live spiritually. There needs to be time for that. Creativity, the spirituality, all the light worker stuff. There needs to be a balance between that and just sheer food in your belly and a roof over your head survival. You need both. So you need a better balance. And so the advice is to find a more efficient way to go about it. And so that just means more money, right? Poor Venus. Look at this. She says, I'm gonna put this up, okay?
Mm-hmm.
I have 3 different jobs. The one that pays the most is only seasonal. The one you love the most pays the least. Oh my God, girl, I feel ya. Been there. Did jobs that at least 2 jobs that I absolutely loved that paid shit. But they were so much fun. Yeah. But you have to, I eventually ended up in the compromise of doing what I could that paid what like made me puke the least and paid the most, and then looked for creativity and fulfillment outside of work. Yeah. 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 Sorry, go ahead. You go. If you're ready, you go.
So I switched over to the Chakra Wisdom Oracle because I love that one for these kinds of questions. And the card that flipped over was Expansion. And the energy of the reading is Perfection. So if you guys will bear with me for a few minutes, I'd like to read the fable and inspiration behind each card. So for Expansion, the fable is Sky God was seeking wise counsel to choose the color of the sky. He wanted the beings of earth to feel serene when they looked at his work. Other great spirits reminded him to trust his intuition. He will know the right color when he sees it. Sky God trusts and sees the color clearly. Thus, the sky becomes Sky blue. The inspiration is seeking good advice is vital when you are pushing into new territory. Stay away from anyone who is critical of your dreams. This indicates possibly changing your friends.
Ha, yes.
Yeah. So, and now the fable for perfection is Raspberry needs no makeup to accentuate her exquisite features, but she wears it anyway. She is a perfectionist. She speaks the truth at all times, believing that she is helping others by sharing her truth. While statements such as, your child is overweight, are honest, they make others avoid her. Lonely, she seeks the advice of her favorite, Elderberry, who teaches her that honesty without kindness is cruelty. Her new vulnerability allows her to see the beauty in others as well as in herself. And the inspiration is, are you being too hard on yourself and consequently on others? Begin to look for what's right and good in your world, and you will see it. And now I want to speak from experience now, because this kind of question and your subsequent information really speaks to my own experiences in the past. About a decade ago now, I was in an abusive relationship with a narcissist who absolutely was only using me for money and material gain. And this person would take all of my money, and if I did not give it to him on payday, then there would be not just emotional abuse, but sometimes physical abuse. And it was
Baby.
very, very manipulative in the way that only narcissists are capable of being. And at the time, I was working 3 jobs, all part time, all thankfully in the same plaza. And then I was also being forced to every night, overnight, help him with his paper route, which would take anywhere from like 3 to 6 hours, depending on the day. And I wasn't getting any sleep. I was actually essentially homeless at the time. So I thankfully had a debit card. And in the winter, I was using the debit card to get into ATMs and sleep somewhere warm for a couple hours before I had to go and help him with his paper route. And it is not the kind of life that I would wish on anybody. And while hopefully your situation isn't that severe, I also do not I can really, really connect with the exhaustion of working 3 different jobs and the constant worry about money and living the paycheck to paycheck. And the best thing I could do was just not focus on any of the negativity about it, but focus on what my goals were. I had decided after I got out of that relationship and I found myself blessedly in a new relationship with my husband. I wanted to move on from having 2, 3 different part-time jobs to try to pay the bills to one solid job that was going to provide me the health insurance benefits. It was going to, if I worked more than 40 hours, pay me the overtime. So that way I wasn't overdoing myself and overextending myself. And I didn't know what shape or form that was going to come in, but I just focused on having that in mind and started keeping my eyes open. And there really is something to focusing your energy into a positive goal and not focusing on any of the negatives, because you'll hear so many light workers on all across all the YouTube channels. They all say that if you are focusing on the negative, that's what the universe thinks you want and will give you more of it. And obviously you don't want negative stuff unless you're a masochist. And I don't think anyone here is a masochist. So I know it's not easy to wash away the negative, and that's why Linda and I have had these sessions over the past few months where we talk about the mudras and we talk about the different ways to release anxiety and release all the negative pent up energy that builds up inside of you. And there's so many ways to release that. And I find that once you release that out of your body, your mind starts to follow suit, and you start to think less negatively.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
it's all up here. All the power is here. Your energy body's power is in your solar plexus, absolutely, but your power to create your own reality is in your own brain. And
Yeah.
there's self hypnosis videos
Creative
you can listen
visualization,
to.
all kinds. Yeah.
Yeah, there's so many different ways you can help reframe your brain just by sleeping, listening to certain sounds. I it is worth doing your research, because once you start correctly directing your energy, you stop asking yourself, why am I stuck like this? And you start asking yourself, how can I change this?
What do I really want? What does that look like? What does that feel like?
There is a way to reframe every thought so that it is not negative. It is, at the very least, neutral, if not positive. One thing I found that helped me, and might be weird, but if I had a recurring negative train of thought or a recurring just sentence thought, I wrote it down, and then I tried to find a way to reframe that question so that it wasn't negative anymore and it was at least just neutral. So, like I just said, instead of why am I stuck like this, instead, what are the reasons that I stay here? And then you can go to, how can I change this? It's all about reframing.
Yeah.
And start there and everything will begin to follow suit.
And I love that. That's absolutely 100% true in my own experience as well. And I want to share something with you that I discovered last week during a reading with someone, with an individual. Now, I was reading a past life for this individual that took place, I don't know, 30,000 years ago. Where they were shaman for a group of people who lived in caves, Neolithic people who lived in caves. And these were people who painted on the walls of their caves. Now, I don't know if you've seen the illustrations of some of these cave paintings, but they're incredibly beautiful. They're really, really gorgeous. I'm speaking. The one I have in my memory is a cave in France. Now, what was happening Okay, so archaeologists, because I've read a lot about these because I think they're so beautiful, and every time something comes up that is about the cave paintings, I read it because it's just so fascinating to me that art has that kind of art and creativity has such ancient roots that we've needed to do this when we were wearing skins, for crying out loud. Okay, um, this wasn't art as representation. What they were doing, and I saw this, they were manifesting the hunt. They were going to go out and hunt. There was this whole ritual that went around it, and part of the ritual was painting what they wanted to see on that hunt, was painting these animals, manifesting. That's what they were doing. Our ancestors from 30,000 years ago were practicing manifestation. Blew my mind. Whoosh. It's our birthright as humans. It's part of our DNA. If you're human, you manifest. So you choose what you manifest. Like, make that a conscious choice. Discipline yourself mentally. Be aware and mindful, and direct your thoughts correctly in order for that to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Very cool.
That was so cool. That was just like, I love reading for people because every single reading is different, and they all, well, you've seen it all in here, just today, and they're all so cool. So yeah. Cavemen. Cavemen. We're manifesting.
The things we used to know that we've forgotten. Just, oh man, imagine if we could remember all of that stuff. Yep. Imagine if we could remember.
Yeah. No, we do. We have it there. It was never lost. It just was ignored. And people started focusing on, making things. And I mean, I don't mean like making things, on things, on consuming. Okay. And on like how many toys you can have, and are they shiny, and is mine shinier than yours?
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. We've been on for 2.5 hours, Britt. And I think it's time to bring this to a close. I want to thank everybody who's here, and thank you for being with us. Thank you for having the patience to listen to all of this. Thank you for your questions. And I'm going to close the records. And we're going to do the 3 deep breaths. I hope that helped, Venus. I mean, really, I feel for you. I get that. I get what you're going through. Deep breath in, hold it at the top. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the truth. I would like to close by thanking the light for the healing energy. And I would like to close by thanking the light for the guidance and compassion towards our soul's purpose. And with this, we lock the records of this group. The records are now closed. Wow, what a day. What a day. Tuesday, Akashic Adventures at 2:00 Pacific, 5:00 Eastern. I'll be simulcasting because Viviani's hosting. And next Thursday, so a week from today, it'll be Jonathan Daly. And it'll be a full moon. And it'll be the day before that big eclipse. And the day of the big eclipse, so the 14th, Man, I can't believe it's the 6th of March already. I mean, like yesterday, it was the end of February. The Friday the 14th, I'll be on at 6 o'clock Pacific, 9 o'clock Eastern, doing another Moon Alchemy show for the full moon with Gerald and Ramon. And yeah, so that's next week. And don't forget International Women's Day on Saturday. I love you all so much. Thank you, Britt, for being with me. It's always such a treat to have you. And I really appreciate your skill and your insight.
Thank you
And
for having me. I love it
you,
when you have me on. It's so much fun.
I know it is. It's a ton of fun. You're so much fun to read with. And did you notice like how together our readings were? Like that blows me away every time. It
That's what
just
I was thinking was so cool. Like even when my cards were coming out first, like I just wanted to see how they related to your to your reading first, and then
yeah.
there were a couple that just like you kept.
I know. So thank you so much again, everybody, and don't forget to like and subscribe because I'm Wanda's human. And I love you all, and we'll see you again soon, I hope. Bye.
Take care, everyone.